Jesse.
What is a man?
Man is a masculine creature that has decided he's going to deal with the masculine compact of duty, honor, obligation, responsibility, and accountability. He's brave and courageous, and he imposes public peace, dignity, and order. Being a man is a title that's earned. It's not the same as male.
Is it wrong for a black man to love the Confederate flag?
Hey, you think what you want to think. Depends upon what it goes along with and what it reflects.
Did O.J. Simpson get away with murder?
No, I looked at all the evidence they had and talked to the experts. They never should have brought the charge against him. And 4 of the chief detectives that were involved in that O.J. case wound up doing time in California for planting evidence. And as a matter of fact, if you saw the entire trial, there are several instances where evidence was planted and it's recorded on tape. The main reason the American public thinks she got away with something is because there was a sleaze known as Nancy Grace, who's still around, and that was her first reporting thing. And she hyped that and put a lot of falsity out there, and the American public believed it because that was the only person they were hearing. I saw the entirety of the evidence. Nicole and Rod Goldman got their throats slit from ear to ear, their tongues pulled out of the slit with a pair of pliers. The fatal injury was a stab by a left-handed person. OJ was right-handed. It went in and it did that damage. There were no peripheral strikes. The footprints in the blood showed that somebody with a size 9 shoe, 9.5 shoe, and somebody with a size 9 and somebody with a 10.5 were there on the scene and did it. One of my late brothers actually was the expert the state was going to call until he refuted it. The glove man I know personally, his name is Richard Zuckerwar. He took a tracing of everybody's hand. It was a size large glove that fit Furman. And OJ had a 2XL, which was way too big. Johnny Cochran knew that. So if it does not fit, you must acquit. And you can see Furman actually plant the bloody socks on a video that the jury saw that Nancy Grace refused to talk about. The DNA evidence that condemned them, she said, if you saw what went on, and I recorded all of it and looked at it, the experts said, this doesn't exclude 96,000 people in the LA area. And the person that donated this is from the Northeast Mediterranean or from Sicily.
That's amazing information.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I don't doubt you. I don't know if all that's true, but
but anyway,
if it's true, it's amazing. True or false? Abortion is worse than slavery.
I'd say false.
Mexican food.
I'm an abortionist. I do postnatal abortions. I sign death orders when people got convicted of first-degree murder and the death penalty being the sentence. That's called postnatal abortion. That's the drive-by. That's the drug OD. So,
do we need more white babies?
That depends on what side of the equation you happen to be on and what you call white. The typical American white person has about 25 to 27% recent African genes in them, and they ain't, by their definition, white folk.
Do you love white people?
I love all people if they act okay.
How about white people? Do you love white people?
No more than black people. I don't hate them. I don't particularly like them either. I mean, it's neutral. What is this guy doing?
And do you love white people?
No, not any more than anybody else.
Has anyone ever told Harpo to beat you?
The what?
You told Harpo to beat me. You remember Oprah show, Color Purple?
I don't watch Oprah. I met her years and years ago when she used to work for somebody I dated. And
Oh,
we all were in the same CBS unit under a guy named Roger King. It was me, Judy, Oprah, and Phil. I beat Oprah and Phil in the ratings every week for several years toward the end there. So I don't buy into what she's doing because I know what Roger King was trying to do, and he told me.
amazing. What is love?
What's that?
What is love?
Depends upon whether you're talking about agape, which is friends, or you're talking about amor or eros, where it is that thing that leads to why we have a new generation that comes about. So
True or
it depends on how you define it.
true or
Brotherly
false?
love
Real men make
versus
boys
erotic
first.
love. What's that?
True or false? Real men make boys first.
Real men did what first?
Real men make boys first before girls.
Actually, no, because biologically there are more females born than boys or males. And the other thing is when the environment gets very stressful biologically, the male fetuses tend to self-abort more frequently than females. So in a high stress situation, you tend to have more females produced. I imagine the biological utility is that a few males, if they have a lot of females, can ramp up the population again.
Is Joe Biden the worst president you've ever seen?
Not quite, but close to it. I'd say he's tied for last place in my mind. Um, I would say he has a much better image, but for effectiveness and doing wrong, I'd say he's right there with Ronald Reagan. And for other doing wrong, I would say Barack Obama is close into that bottom because Barack Obama is not what most people think he is. And I'll ask you a question. Who is the richest person to ever sit in the White House?
Barack
It's
Obama.
not Donald. Yeah,
Really?
because his
I was
adopted
guessing.
father, Lolo Sotoro, ran death squads for the Indonesian government. He was wanted by The Hague for being responsible for the murder of millions, well, not millions, but tens of thousands of Indonesians. He ran the spy ring for the U.S. government through Obama's grandmother in China, North Korea, North Vietnam. Remember, the Vietnam was going on then, Cambodia, and Laos. He was international vice president of Standard Oil at the times. They were trying to get into Indonesia, and he was hooked up with the Bushes, and he wound up marrying a relative of the Bushes, Obama's mother. Obama's maternal grandfather was George Herbert Walker Bush's first cousin.
What?
So it's really incestuous in there. And the guy that was the ancestor of the Bushes and Obama and Dick Cheney. They were all cousins. Is an interesting person who sold himself into slavery as an indentured slave to get away from Catholic persecution in France to get to America. So Sam Hinckley is his name. So this guy had 7 U.S. presidents, 1 vice president, quite a few billionaires, including Warren Buffett, the actor, Brad Pitt, are all his descendants. So
Where are
they're
you
all
getting all this
related.
information? I never heard at all. Where you get all this from?
Oh, it used to be out there. You can do research. Just be careful. Like, don't always rely on Wikipedia, for example. You see that little pencil that's either at the top or bottom? Click on it and you put your email in there and you can modify what Wikipedia is going to say online. So you can put anything in there you want to. And if somebody doesn't convert it back, that's what people will get. So don't believe everything you have online, but it used to be out there until they decided to take it down.
Wow. Because of time, I just got to move on. Does a chicken have lips?
What?
Does a chicken have lips?
No, it's got a beak.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No,
Should we
but
get?
I have seen some weird stuff standing in broad daylight with my bodyguard. We were looking at a dining room table at a house I had, a big mansion. And as we looked at it, one glass of wine shattered. And we said, what in the world? And then another one shattered. And then we found out that the person that was leasing the house, his wife was a witch, and she had all of these talismans around the house. And Robert Wagner was a neighbor, and he's the one where his wife supposedly drowned out in
Oh
Catalina.
yeah, I
So
remember that.
it was real spooky in the neighborhood. Other than that, I don't know.
Amazing. Should blacks should we give blacks reparations?
It would be nice, but it's like winning the lottery. I'd love to win the big lottery, but I don't guide my life around winning it. And the point is, we'd have to have an Enablement and Appropriations Act essentially by U.S. Congress for it to happen. And I don't think that's going to be
Did you have fun?
today.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I like this kind of stuff back and forth. This is my amusement instead of watching basketball. I like to do this kind of thing.
Yes.